Hi everybody, so today I've got a new Dolce & Gabbana release, and this one I've been very excited about. I am a massive fan of cushion foundations and they have launched this cushion foundation. So I'll be trying this on today along with this new liquid pH blush. I've also got all 6 shades of the Queen Museia. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce the brand, but I know the brand well. They have beautiful lipsticks and they've given me all 6 of their new Hydrabalms. So I'm going to try all 6 on for you today and I cannot wait to show you those. Honestly, I sampled one yesterday, they're gorgeous. Anyway, before I get started, if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah. I'm 48, I'm not a professional, I'm just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty, and here on my channel I like to show you my favourite looks, the latest releases, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this content, please do subscribe to my channel. It's ever so helpful and lots of people watch without subscribing, so if you could, it really is helpful and I appreciate it. And if you're already subscribed, welcome back, thank you so much for being here. And my skin type and tone, I've got light, fair to light skin with predominantly cool, leaning a tiny bit neutral undertones, and I've got blue eyes. I've also got combination skin, which is predominantly dry with a very slightly oily T-zone. Anyway, that's enough about me, let's get straight into this video. So my face is prepped and ready for makeup with nothing on it at all. I've just got my SPF on actually. I'm not going to put a primer on and I'm not going to put any more skincare on because I tried this yesterday and I tried this just literally on top of, what did I have on? I think just a serum, that was it, and it worked beautifully. And I think also my skin's reaching that point now with the warmer weather where I'm not needing quite so much skincare, so I'm reducing the amount of skincare down, and this product is very much a skincare based sort of product, so I don't need that much, so I'm literally going straight in on top of SPF. So my vitamin C serum is already on, and SPF, and that's it. The case on this is very nice. I do believe they're refillable, so you should be able to buy refills. This is the Rose Glow Cushion. This is a brightening foundation which says it will provide 24 hours of lasting hydration and a glossy skin glow. This has a creamy formula and offers medium buildable coverage, and it also has SPF 50, which is very good, leaving your skin with a glossy finish. This comes in this refillable fashion-inspired compact with a mesh delivery system that dispenses the perfect amount of product with its bespoke water drop shaped applicator, perfect to reach hard to get areas and provide a seamless finish. The cushion is your new must-have makeup accessory for effortless on the glow. So this has lots of niacinamide in, that's one of the main ingredients. I don't know if I've got any more information on the skincare, I don't think I do. So this is offering 3 24-hour promises, 24 hours of glow and brightening, 24 hours of hydration and 24 hours of wear, which is quite something, and I won't be testing that one for you, but I will do a check-in this evening. I won't be posting this video today, I'll post it tomorrow so you can have an evening check-in with this one. So this, oh, it does actually say, sorry, it's infused with Italian rose canino, which is very good for enhancing radiance along with the niacinamide, so that's the other skincare ingredient in this. But there is a massive problem with this foundation, so I apologise immediately to anyone watching this who has more than light to medium skin tones. The skin tone range on this is tiny. I do believe that's because it was launched in Asia and now it's just come here. And seeing as Dolce & Gabbana launched quite a good range of their foundation not earlier this year, was it? No, it was last year, wasn't it? That I'm hoping if this is popular they will expand the range just like they did with so many things that have come across from the Asian market, like Tir for instance. Tir only had about 3 or 4 shades and now they've got all the shades. So I really hope that's the case, because what I've seen of this just from trying it yesterday, I mean I could be wrong, but my first quick check of this was wow. So I really hope we get more shades. So currently there are just 6 shades in this. I've gone for the very lightest, I believe, yes, 1C. So the next one is 2N, then 3C, then 4N, 5W and 6C. So extremely limited shade range at the moment. I don't know if the shade range is a little bit flexible because 6C looks quite a lot darker than this one. But this is not going to cover any higher than light to medium, I don't think. So hopefully that will change soon. I am burning a woodwick candle, just slightly off topic, behind me, so I'm going to continue to burn it for this video because I've just lit it. My son bought me this for Christmas and he thought it'd be nice for me to use in spring. It's a raspberry fragrance and I love woodwork, but it's got that sound, if you know the woodwork, like crackling wood. I'm quite aware of it, so if it's bothering you or if it's too loud on camera, please let me know and I won't burn it in this video anymore. But it's a really nice fragrance to burn for this time of year. Anyway, let's get back to this. So I'm going to try this with the provided applicator. So look at the packaging here. It's just very high luxury and this is very squidgy. I love it. This sort of, is it like faux leather? I suppose it is. It's softer than the YSL ones. It's got more cushioning. So we've got a nice size mirror, and then here we have the sponge applicator, which I will use on one side, but when I tested it yesterday I used my Rapha brush and it applied really nicely that way, so I think I'll try both sides. So here you can see I've tried it yesterday. So the only thing to do is to go straight in and try it. So I see the tip on this. It does look very good for getting into all these sorts of areas, and if you did want to take it under the eyes, which I won't be doing. It's got that mesh, so you can just sort of press down to get what you need on your pad, and then I'll just start tapping it in. Straight away I'm seeing a lot more coverage using this than I did with the brush yesterday. It's quite light. Obviously I've gone for the lightest shade, but what struck me straight away is this is just, well, first of all, it just melts onto my skin instantly. It has that sort of instant hydrating, cooling sensation, very lightweight, very refreshing. It's like a really nice skincare, and I know it's not going to cake. I can just tell. It just feels like I'm putting on one of my favourite skincares. It gives that instant sort of glow. The only thing I would say is when it says medium buildable coverage, I'm not totally convinced. Certainly I wasn't yesterday that it goes up to medium. Maybe it just about reaches medium. Certainly using this anyway. Look at that glow and look at the way it's so perfect. Now I don't have any around the nose area yet, so let me just get some around there where I've got a bit of redness. And then you can see how it's correcting all this redness I had there. You can see it's like a skin tint. That's how it feels, like a really nice skin tint. But obviously it's giving me SPF 50 as well, so I do already have my SPF on, because you couldn't rely on this for your SPF because you're not applying enough of it. But it's a really good way to top up. Or another way I would do it personally would be if you want a bit less skincare, because this is very much skincare based, I would put maybe a little bit less of your SPF on and then put this on, so you're getting the right amount by doing the two together. So this is quite good for getting around the eyebrow area. Look at that. I just think it's gorgeous. I really like this. You know, I've been very happy so far with lots of the products we've had launched with skin tints. The Galan Terracotta Glow, the Givenchy one is very nice, the foundation. They've all been so sort of skincare based and mature skin friendly and no cakiness and lovely healthy glow. So I think I could have possibly gone up a shade because it's quite pale on me, but it's absolutely fine. I think it's pretty much my skin tone, so I'm not unhappy. I can easily put a bit of bronzer on and bring a bit of colour back. But anyway, here is one side of my face with none, and then here is this side. So I would say it's light to medium, bang in the middle. I don't think it quite reaches the medium. But let me just put a bit more on the puff where I've got more things to hide. So here where I've got a bit of a spot there which has started to go. I occasionally get spots and this one's hanging about, and then I've got this freckle here and a sunspot there which are much less visible these days, but they are there. So let's just see if I add more. Oh well, that worked. Okay, so I take it back. This does reach medium. The first layer was giving me in between light to medium, but that second layer, look at that. That's quite a lot of coverage actually. Wow. Okay. But does it sit nicely or is it too much? No, I think that's sitting very nicely. So definitely buildable. Definitely going up to medium. Very happy with that. But I will, because I know not everyone likes to use these, I will use a brush. So I've got my Rapha, the LCO3 brush here. So I'm going to just press into the foundation and see what we get. I think yesterday I must have just gone in with a very light hand because look how much I've just got. Wow. Okay, I think I've even got too much there. But I'll go with it. I must admit I do prefer using the brush because can you see how quickly I was able to do my nose? And it just goes on a bit faster. Much faster actually. That's one side of the face done. Oh, I love this, you know, I really love it. I am a big, oh gosh, this brush is picking up loads now. I think yesterday I must have tapped ever so lightly when I tried this. That looks like way too much, but let's just see if it'll work its way in because the skin seems to just lap this up. I'll take it across the other side. That is too much, it is. I think my problem was I was pushing in too hard on the mesh and I've picked up too much, so I should have just pushed in once and gone a bit lighter. So I am going to go in with a dry sponge and pick up a bit of this excess product. I definitely went too far there. So that was quite easy to fix with the sponge, but you don't need to make that mistake if you don't push in a few times. I was being overly enthusiastic. A little seems to go quite a long way. So everything I said about this being light is completely proven wrong now. It's definitely going up to medium coverage. Look at that glow. It just looks so healthy and beautiful. I absolutely love it. Now obviously I will be powdering down because that's too much of a glow for me, but I might keep some of the glow on the cheeks. I don't know, I'm a bit undecided, but I do know that yesterday I just put a tiny bit of powder on top of this and I just thought it looked fabulous all day. I really, really like it. I love it actually. And you saw that with the brush, it's like 2 seconds to do this side. So I would actually prefer to use the brush and maybe use the applicator it comes with as top-ups if you're out and about, because I think that would be how it would be useful. Even though usually with cushion foundations, I do quite like to use the cushions. But in this case, the brush was seconds application. So I would definitely go with that. So a brush like the Rapha, if you've got the LC03 or any of the other ones from Rapha, because there were 3 of these. Perfect brush for this, perfect. So what do you think? What I'll do now is I'll go off camera, I'll do my contour and my concealer and I'll come back to try this. So I've got my concealer and contour on, so I'm ready to put the blush on, but I just want to get something on my lips because they're so dry and I don't really want to introduce anything else because I just wanted to put this on my lips today. So I'll quickly tell you about these. This is by a brand called Queen Museia or Museia. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. They do have matte lipsticks with exactly the same packaging as this. They're green. I've tried those. They're a lovely creamy matte formula with a great longevity. And they look beautiful on your worktops, on your shelves, on your beauty vanities, whichever. They are so beautiful and they're inspired by art from what I know. They're very much inspired by sort of sculptures and art. Very, very unique. So these cost $28 is the price I've got here for them. And they have actually given me a 10% discount code, which I'll pop on the screen now, Hannah-QM. So you can get 10% off these, but they are really good value. So the details on these are supercharged with powerful skincare, a lip balm with a perfect wash of colour, butter stick soft formula which melts upon application and instantly and deeply hydrates, nourishes and smooths the lips. The formula contains a complex of vitamins C, E and F, hyaluronic acid and 8 natural oils and butters. This features an anti-blue light complex that helps to protect against blue light and pollution. So the first one I've picked up, which will be the only one I'll try on just for now, but I will try all 5 on at the end of the video. This one is called Valid Vine. So I just needed to get this on because I know they're hydrating from trying them yesterday. They also smell a bit like Tic Tacs. Do you know what I mean by Tic Tacs, the sweets? I love the smell. It's really lovely. Very light smell. It's not strong or anything, but it reminds me of Tic Tacs. So super, super easy to apply. Extremely, you can feel the butter, but not in a greasy way. Oh, it's beautiful actually. A lovely, lovely formula. Very lightweight, not a thick formula. So this is something I'd probably have to reapply, I'd say every sort of 2 hours, I would imagine, from this type of formula. But you could do it blind. You could just quickly put this on It's lovely, absolutely beautiful, and the packaging, who doesn't want to pull this one out of their handbag? So just for transparency, all 6 were gifted to me, so a massive thank you for gifting them to me, to Queen Museia. I do apologise, I wish I knew how to pronounce that, but I don't. Anyway, so here is the first one, Valid Vine. Isn't it lovely? Really, really lovely shade, love it. Genuinely very impressed with that formula. So anyway, my lips are now feeling a lot happier, so I can go in with this product. Now, I tested this product out yesterday, and let me tell you, it did not come off my hand for hours. So a bit of care will be needed in this application. So this one is £34, packaged very beautifully actually. So this is the Violet Liquid Blush, a revolutionary pH reacting blush formula that adapts to every skin tone, creating a custom cheek glow that lasts for up to 10 hours, universally flattering, transforms from a vibrant violet liquid into a unique shade that perfectly complements your complexion, delivering a natural, radiant, buildable flush of colour equipped with a precise silicone applicator, easy to apply on the cheeks. So this says 10-hour long lasting, and the fact that this was on my hand for hours, even when I was doing some quite heavy duty cleaning with lots of very strong cleaning products yesterday, this didn't budge. So I can imagine this could even go beyond 10 hours, and you should see an instant glowing result, it says. So this also contains hyaluronic acid for hydration and the Italian violet flower, known for its soothing properties. So I think lots of us are familiar with pH changing products. I don't think that's particularly unique. Maybe the violet colour of this is, I'm not entirely sure, but we have seen this before, not from Dolce Gabbana, and maybe not quite looking like this. So the applicator tip on this, it's just this silicone applicator, so it's not soft and spongy. And going by what happened to me yesterday, I will be literally just doing one dot. Don't be fooled by this, because when I put it on my hands, I thought, oh, I'm going to need quite a lot of that. But when I tried it on my cheeks, I put 3 dots and it was way too much. But it melts in beautifully, and it does give, just that 1 dot gives the most natural flush. So if you're going for a very natural look, something like this foundation, which is so natural in the way it finishes, because it's like a skin tint, look how beautifully that sits, and that will stay there all day. It will not budge. And I have to say, that's given me the perfect application. It really is exactly what it says, that it's giving you that natural blush, but it really will last, because cream products and liquid products very rarely last very long. They have to be really set, but this one will lock in. It's almost like a stain, so you do need to be careful. So I'll just do the 1 dot on this side as well. I have to say, I think it's gorgeous. I really do. I love the way it applies. I mean, can you just see how easy this is? So I'm using my BK Beauty 109, but look, it's just done. Look at that flush of colour. Who would think I'm wearing blush? Who would not? Who would know? It just looks like I've got that very natural flush, and it's gorgeous. I love it actually, I really do. I'm very impressed with the 2 of them, how natural, glowy and beautiful they are. Now I really wouldn't add to this, but I will, just for the sake of review, just once. I'm not going to do 3 because I know that that will eventually become ridiculous, but I will put 1 more dot at the top there, so you can see how much more pigment I'm getting. So I would recommend just do that 1 dot and see how you feel, but I want to bring it up a tiny bit here and into the eye, so you can just see it there. Actually, 2 is probably okay for me. So 1 dot there and 1 dot there is probably just about right. So that worked out quite well, but I would not be going in for a 3rd. So this is not the colour you're going to get. As you blend it out, it is going to transform to work with your skin, as it says. And you can see that's what happens, because you can look at the colour of the bottle and now look at my cheeks. There's nothing like there's nothing like this colour. It's definitely doing what it says. I wonder as well if this would work if you put a little bit on the lips, if it would stain those for hours as well. But anyway, I know that's not what it's for, and I'm not going to do that today because I want to swatch all of these lipsticks or lip balms from Queen Museia for you. But I do wonder, could be worth trying that if you want that sort of locked in colour. So I've got it on the back of my hand, and I will show you at the end of the review how that is just not budging. So I'm just going to quickly set my face, and I'm not going to do it off camera because I'm going to do something I've been promising to do for ages, which is to compare the original Givenchy loose powder with the new YSL. So I'll set both sides using both so we can see. So I've got, this is my very last original. You can see it doesn't have that rough top, so this means it's the original, my very last pot in shade 3, which is the rose. So I'm going to start with the Givenchy on this side, and with the YSL I've got it in the pink. I do have it in other shades now, but I thought the pink is probably the closest, so I'll just use the pink. And I'll go in with my Nikki LaRose N14, the brush I always use these days for setting under the eyes. Absolute perfection, as we know. And then on this side I'll go in with the YSL in pink. So this is the All Hours, that's the shade of that. So if you want to see the two of them next to each other, that's the YSL, that's the Givenchy. So obviously we're getting more of a sort of slightly peach tone with Givenchy because it's got the 4 colours mixed together. And I'm going to take that into the eye. So we can see side by side how they both look under the eye. Now I'm predicting that this could be as good, if not better, YSL, because that is how much I love it. Let's look. I think they're exactly as good. I don't think there's one better than the other actually. So it hasn't beaten the original Givenchy loose powder, but it's lived up to it. Smoothing, blurring, not emphasising, not having that bright highlight like the newly formulated Givenchy. So slightly brightening these shades. I think if you go for the blue or the translucent with YSL, you'll get more of a brightening finish than the pink. But I think that's why these two are the closest. Absolute perfection. I do think I've got slightly more in the way of coverage from the Givenchy, so I'll just take a little bit more YSL. Let's just see if that's why. Maybe I had a bit more on the brush. No, I think that's about the same now. What do you think? So hard to get across with powders on camera, but trust me, the YSL is amazing. So what I'll do now is I'm not going to set the entire face because I do want to try and keep a bit of this glow. So using the same brush, I've got the Givenchy, I'm just going to go into my T-zone. And I also want to see how wearable this foundation and blush is. Is it too sticky for me? Because it is a bit tacky at the moment, but I just love the way it looks. It's a little bit tacky, not a lot. So now taking the YSL, going into the T-zone. So this is the area here where I get lots of pores being visible. So we can look on both sides how YSL is coping, which from my test so far, it's been incredible here for pores, incredible. And then I've got the original Givenchy on this side. You can see if one of them is more blurring than the other in this area where I need it the most. Gosh, they really are very, very close. But if I had to pick, I don't know, I think that they're just as good as each other. I was going to say if I had to pick it would be the YSL side, but then this side is slightly worse for me in terms of the pores. I just think it sits a bit more naturally, the YSL, than the Givenchy, so I think it actually beats it. Isn't that exciting? I've been telling you since I tried this YSL that it's the best. That's why. I've definitely found my Givenchy replacement, as I thought, but this is the first time I've tried them side by side. What do you think? I'm so happy. So now I don't need to panic about finishing up my old Givenchy because I've got my YSL and I've now got it in blue, white and pink, and I have got a video which probably will come out after this where I show you the blue on its own and then I show you blue, white and pink on the other side. So that is coming, which I've also promised, and I've already filmed it. Advance warning, I love the blue one, I love it. So anyway, I'll go off camera now, do the rest of my makeup, and then we can look at the rest of these lipsticks. In fact, just before I leave, shall I try one more on? So I've got Desert Flower, the next one I'm trying. This one's a lot more of a warm tone. There we have Desert Flower. Anyway, I am going to go off camera and do the rest of my makeup, and then we can look at the last 4 shades before we wrap up and have final thoughts about everything I've tried. So I've put the rest of my makeup on and I still haven't set the cheeks. They do feel slightly tacky still, but not enough for my hair to be, let me have a look. Actually, I was going to say not enough for my hair to stick to it, but it will look. So I do, ideally for me, because I don't like that, need to set it. I wonder if I set it and then put a little bit more of that blush on top of powder, would that actually work? So I think I'll try that. Because part of this tackiness is that I haven't set down the foundation on the cheeks. So I'll do that now. You can see how this blush is looking with powder on top. So you can still see the pink sort of coming through a bit, but I've obviously lost that glow now. And I've lost a little bit of the colour. I really don't know if that adaptive formula will work on a powder. I'm doing it this way because this is the only way I personally can wear makeup. I can't do tacky and I can't do my hair sticking to my face. I hate it. So let me just see. It'd be a shame if I can't get it to work because I love the way it looked. So let me put a dab there. And see if this will work now on powder. Straight away the pigment pops twice as much on top of powder. As always, definitely don't do more than one, but it does seem to be working actually. Takes a few more seconds to blend out, not much more. Blend it out very easily. Oh, look at that. Isn't that really beautiful? I'm quite amazed by this. I've tried a lot of pH blushes, sometimes I like them. I think this might be the nicest one I've tried. I quite like the Huda one. That one with that very strange Petri dish packaging, but I think I prefer this one. Definitely less tacky, just with the blush. So is my hair going to stick to that? Oh. Oh. Oh, dear me. Do you know what though? I'm just going to wear it today because I like it so much. And I will put a comment below at some point in the video soon and let you know if I had to just come back in here and powder because it was driving me mad. Because I just love the finish. So if you're wearing your hair up and or you don't mind a little bit of tackiness. So pretty. To be fair, on the back of my hand it still feels a little bit tacky. Remember I said to you it just doesn't go anywhere? It's calmed down with me doing that, but the pinkiness in the background is still there, and that's what lasted all day yesterday, despite how many times I washed my hands. This little patch of pink was there for hours and hours. So that's how it looks on powder, and it's beautiful. I haven't got any highlighter. I'm leaving this as my highlighter because I quite like sort of natural glow. I might just take the tiniest amount of powder on this 109 brush, so I'm not putting on quite as much as with the puff. So just with a little bit, I'm still getting that glow. So now let's do the hair test. It passed. Oh, there we go. Just a tiny bit of powder on the top so I don't lose it, and then my hair won't stick. There we go. Oh, brilliant. I'm happy now because I love that. I think it is beautiful. Really, really like it, and I wasn't actually expecting to. I always think these things are a bit gimmicky. I really, really like that. It's very pretty. And if you're my skin twin, I think it'll work perfectly on you because it's working on me. But I also think this will work perfectly on everybody if you like the way this looks, because it adapts to your skin tone, so it looks different on everybody. So anyway, let's now take off this lipstick and try, or lip balm rather, and try on the last 4. So next up I've got the shade 1993. So here is this. This looks like quite a deep brown. So there it is on the back of my hand. Now let's try it on. Another lovely shade actually. That works really well with my skin tone. Love that one. 1993. So the next one I'm trying is called Noble Vine. And this one actually looks a little bit similar to the 1993 I just tried on. As in it's a bit browny, but it's more of a reddish brown, isn't it? So let's try this on. I love the shine I'm getting with these as well, you know. This is another winning shade. I think that's really, really nice. So, Noble Vine. I'm checking because we had Valid Vine. Noble Vine. Then Nostalgique. So this is another warm tone. That's how that looks. Nice sort of summery shade, this one. Nostalgique. Now the last one in the collection, this one is 2005. How beautiful is that? This is a real summer shade. That's how it looks on the back of my hand. And on the lips, 2005. Well, I have to say I've loved all of these. They are beautiful, super, super easy to apply. They smell beautiful. They're just gorgeous. They're lovely to handle. They're lovely to look at. I just love them. I think they're very special. And also they've just launched some blushes and a bronzer, I believe, in the last few days. So I'm really hoping to try those soon because they look really good as well. I think they might be cream products, so I'll be very interested. I could be wrong, I don't have any of the details, but I know they've launched definitely blushes. So it's exciting to see this range expanding because it's a lovely range. They've got a very nice mascara as well if you want to look into their website. I've tried their mascara and it's really, really nice. But their lipsticks are the standouts. They're matte and now these beautiful balms, which are absolutely fabulous. One of the nicest ones I've tried in a while. I think they're up there with the best. They really are. I really do. I love them very much. So, have you tried Queen Museia, however it's said? I'd love to hear your thoughts. They're quite a new brand, very unique and very different, but I think they're pretty special, to be honest. So looking back at everything else I've tried today, I will play a clip for you now of my wear test of this so you can see that. So here's that. So this is a 9-hour check-in, and apart from a bit of sparkle from my eyeshadows because I've just forgotten and rubbed my eyes, which I always do, I think everything is looking quite similar to the first hour of application, which is really, really good. I've just looked now in my magnification mirror. You can see slight signs of caking and breaking up around this area, very slight, not too bad. And also considering I didn't go in for all my skincare, I kept it really minimal. So that's something I will try out, is maybe more skincare. I wouldn't say less because all I had on was vitamin C and SPF, so I'd need that as a minimum. But I could maybe go in with a primer, or I could go in with a moisturiser, or maybe just a light sort of serum. I have been using the Bobbi Brown, the face-based version of the serum. Where is it here? The vitamin enriched smoothing serum. So this is like the lighter version of using the face-based cream. So I could try something like that. So I will play around with this and certainly give you more information in my end of month review. But overall, I think it looks really, really good. I don't think first, if I was going to do a direct comparison with my absolute favourite, the Guerlain Terracotta Glow, I don't think it stood up quite as well because there is evidence of caking around here. I'm not sure if it'll show up on camera. It's around there. I can't see it looking in this mirror. I think it looks absolutely fine until I flip it to the magnification and then I start to see it, but it's really not that bad. Sorry, the dogs are playing right out there if you're hearing funny noises. But yeah, overall, I'm very pleased with that. So I could have gone out I could have left the house and here I am 9 hours later. This is how it's looking. Both the blusher, the foundation, all intact. I also added the blush to my lips and I feel like I've had a bit of a rosy tint all day because the only thing on my lips right now is a clear lip balm. And I do think my lips still look quite pink, and I did that as soon as I stopped filming. So that's something to think about if you want to try that. You could use that that liquid blush, if that's what we're going to call it. I think that is what we call it, isn't it? You could use this as a sort of underpaint on lips and cheeks, and then go in with other things, and it doesn't matter if they disappear during the day because this will still be there. So that's a really good extra to add to your collection for those reasons, I think. So overall, I'm still very, very, very happy with these, and I'm really looking forward to trying out different ways of hopefully preventing any caking. But the fact that I needed a magnification mirror to even spot anything makes me very happy, because that means if I was looking in any mirrors anywhere, I wouldn't see it. So I think it looks great, and I'm very, very pleased with it. So there we go. There's my check-in. So hopefully, I'm filming this now, but hopefully the wear test is showing this went well, because I think this is gorgeous. In fact, I will go as far as to say this is up there with my Galant Terracotta Glow foundation, which is my current favourite of the year, and it's also pretty much neck and neck with my Dior foundation stick as being #1. And at the moment, I'm thinking this might just stand up there alongside it, or very close to it. Obviously it's day one, so I might change my mind. It might not look great tonight. I thought that this applied so easily, so beautifully. I love the healthy glow. I think it's stunning. We need plenty of more shades. Please, please, Dolce & Gabbana, we need enough shades for everybody. Make it accessible to everybody. This is a gorgeous formula. And then we had this PH blush, which has taken me by surprise massively, as you've seen. I thought this would just be more of a fun, gimmicky thing to be showing you today, and I've ended up thinking I could quite happily wear this one all the time. I think this is a really good way as well to just start your makeup. So if, like me, you put your contour on and then you set, I often put a bit of a liquid or cream blush at that point and go in with a powder blush. So my thinking is that's exactly what I'll be doing with this. That's going to be one of my regulars now. At the moment, I'm regularly using a few different things. I can't put my hands on, oh, the one I've shown you a few times actually is the Isamaya cream blush. I love that one. And I've been using that. I've kept it on my desk ever since reviewing it, because I often use this with my contour before setting, just the blush. But I think I'll be using this one as well. I'll be rotating at the moment between those two. But I do also like it on top. I think I just wouldn't need a powder. I've very lightly dusted powder, but I've still got a glow without the tackiness. So I've got no highlighter, and I just think my skin generally looks so natural. Very, very, very impressed with it. I love it. And we did the powder test, and we discovered that YSL is as good as the original Givenchy, in my opinion. Happy days. Anyway, that's all from me for today. I do hope you found this helpful, and I would love to hear your thoughts on everything I've tried on in the comments below. And if you have enjoyed it, please do hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, the subscribe button is ever so helpful. And I really, really hope to see all of you again for my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.